I would change this fucked up hairline because boy, I tell you, and I shat myself because we're so far deep into the cycle of capitalism, we think that greed is innate to human nature. Whew, almost threw up. We good? I'm doing a mukbang, but it's just with some homemade food. I'm trying not to eat like fast food shit because that's nasty. But I don't have the right lens either because it's, bruh, but anyways. We got salmon and rice, barbecue sauce with my salmon and rice. Y'all might think that's gross, but it tastes great. Trust. And then we got an Arizona tea, and then we also got some water on the side to kind of wash down and keep it in balance. You know what I'm saying? Can't have too much sugar, but I don't even know if that's really how it works for real. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? I am not a nutritionist, so don't take my advice on that part. Anyways, let's do some of this. Oh yeah. Get up in there. You know what I'm saying? Whew. Earlier today, I left my pizza at the store. I got some fired pie pizza, but I left it at the store. Or else I would be eating that right now. But it's cool. At least we got food. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more barbecue sauce on the barbie. Bro, I look like one of them, like, I look like crackhead, man. I don't got a haircut, haven't had a haircut in months. I think it's been like 6 months. I think maybe even longer than that, actually. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm here to talk about. Should I just Google a question? Have a question of the day type of thing? Multiple questions of the day? I had some on Pinterest. So I got a question. What the fuck is that? Let's get into the first bite though. I usually mix it around, as that's what I was doing earlier, if you couldn't tell. My head is getting cut off the frame, bruh. Let's put this up a little bit, man. But yeah, I mixed it up and then I usually just eat it. This is a lot. This is a lot. Let's get into the first bite. That's good. That's good right there. That's good right there. A little bit more barbecue sauce. Little bit more. Little bit more. Oh yeah. First sip of the Arizona tea. Okay, stop being dramatic. But now, that is really good. Oh my gosh, it feels like so much is going on right now. I don't know what to do. I guess we'll ask this question. If you could spend one day in someone else's shoes, who would it be and why? Spend a day in somebody else's shoes. Does this mean that I get to like control what they do for the day? Or am I like backseat gaming? Or am I just in the backseat in general? Like just watching what they do? Or is this if I am, or can I talk? Or is this like I get to control what they do, yada, yada, yada? Because if that's the case, I'm gonna be Donald Trump and fuck up his whole plan. You know what I'm saying? Project 2025 going down the drain tonight. Project Esther? Yeah, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? And the question said why? Because those are just terrible plans and they only benefit rich people, Christians, white males. I believe in equality for all, justice for all, not specific requirements for those liberties and justices and all that bullshit. It's not bullshit though. Pay attention in school, kids. But yeah, that's what I would do. If I was in somebody else's shoes for the day, I'm fucking up their whole plan. You know how much? You know how much Donald Trump signed off? How many executive orders he signed off on the first day? I'ma double it. Double it. Stop playing with me. Which celebrity gets on your nerves the most and why? Donald Trump. Is this a Donald Trump hated vid? Hold on. I think I found my niche. Donald Trump hated vid. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, but I would have to say at this moment in time, probably Donald Trump. Other than that, I don't really be paying attention to celebrities for real. And the question says why? Because he's a piece of shit and he's just not a decent human being whatsoever. That's just my perspective and my opinion. If you don't like it, cry about it, snowflake. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I actually wanted to be a mechanic, and I still kind of do want to be a mechanic, but I'm broke, and everything costs so much money, and inflation is at an all-time high. And again, I am broke and got no money, and I live with my family, and my family helps me with a lot. And unfortunately, I want to be independent, but I'm dependent by force because I don't want to work a job and have to work my whole life away to afford a house and to afford rent that I just barely make, and I'm meeting ends meet, and I'm turning into the rat race, and then I won't have time to do what I really want to do in life, and then I'll be depressed, and then I'll be sad, and then I'll... What's the strangest place you've ever gone potty? Probably a park because I literally was 2.5 seconds away from shitting myself. I was at the park playing basketball and I literally had to go so fucking bad. Super bad. Obviously, if I'm about to shit myself, you know what I'm saying? And so I was texting my mom. I was like, yo, bro, I don't think I can hold it for this long. And I shat myself, or I almost did, and I didn't get to wipe. Yeah, and so I shat everywhere. I didn't get to wipe my ass, and it smelled like, you know what shit smells like, right? Do you have any strange or unique phobias? I don't think so. I think all my fears are pretty rational. I have thalassophobia, fear of deep bodies of water, because duh, I have a fear of falling. So if I'm in a position where I'm a little bit too high, I just don't really want to, fall. I think I do have a fear of like hurting people. I just really would like to avoid that at all costs. But unfortunately within life, I've done that and I will unfortunately continue to do that. But I think I try to make a conscious effort to, do my best to not do that. I actually just recently hurt somebody that I really cared about and still continue to care about. So it really just sucks ultimately. Yeah. I guess if somebody gave you $100, what would you spend it on? I would save it. What realistically could $100 even buy for real, other than like some food? Everything that I want is expensive as hell. Check this out. Is $100 gonna get me a Kia K5? If not, shut the fuck up. What is one thing you need to work on for yourself? My ability to say no in uncomfortable situations, or like my ability to tell people no. Because of my fear to hurt others, I put myself in a position to have cognitive dissonance that ended up hurting both people that I like cared about at the time and that I was cool with. So if I was able to say no to a specific situation, yeah, it might have hurt at first, but I could have done less damage. So basically like setting boundaries, being more confident in setting boundaries, I think is pretty important. If you can change one thing about yourself physically, what would you change? It would either be like metabolic control. So I get to control my metabolism whenever I want. So if I feel like bulking, I'll control it to like be less fast. And if I feel like cutting, then I would slow it down. I think that would be really cool. Or I would change this fucked up hairline because boy, I tell you, daddy ain't give me shit other than this fucked up hairline. Boy, I tell you what, man. Widow's fucking peak. Look it look like I'm balding. It look like I'm balding. That ain't right, but that's probably it for real. Other than that, I would say I'm pretty cute. What was the most recent thing that made you cry? Let's not talk about that. What's the most trivial thing about... What? Sorry, I got these questions from Reddit. They don't know how to ask a question, bro. I just feel like this is structured so weird. What is the most trivial thing about which you have a strong opinion? I have a lot of strong opinions, but like on the grand scheme of things, it's not that deep, but to me personally, it pisses me off so much when somebody interrupts me when I'm speaking, or like I'm speaking to somebody and somebody like ruins the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand it. It's just, it irritates me and triggers me so quickly. What is your least popular or most controversial opinion? I'll give both. I think my least popular opinion, or I guess my most controversial one, aren't they the same? Wouldn't that be the same thing? Most controversial. If it's controversial, maybe I'm tripping. But anyways, I I'm gonna think those things as the same thing. But I think that because we're so far deep into the cycle of capitalism, we think that greed is innate to human nature, that I just don't believe that that's true. I believe that humans could easily be conditioned to be selfless to a certain extent, right? But it's because of the mechanisms that uphold capitalisms that prevent that type of quality from happening. You have to be competitive in this type of economic system in order to produce more money. So I don't think that greed is as innate as people like to believe it is. That's my most controversial opinion and probably my most least popular opinion. What is the strangest thing you believe in? Do you believe in the supernatural, heavens, angels, ghosts, luck, fate, magic, mind reading, lizard people, the Illuminati? Where do you draw the line of belief and disbelief? I definitely believe in luck because I think that luck is just probability. And if something happens that's in your favor, I would categorize that as luck, right? But me personally, I'm not saying that these things don't exist because I'm agnostic ultimately, but like the supernatural stuff, I haven't experienced it, so I can't speak on that. And I'm also just very curious on like those experiences in a way, or not curious, but like skeptical. But if that does happen to people, like they experience angels, ghosts, magic, and if they believe in fate, like kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? That's your belief. That's what you believe in. If you've seen that, then that's cool. But I think I have like this thing that's in that I cater to like scientific epistemology. So I think I'm just more towards the lines of like things that I can like observe and see, and like through like those types of methods, you know, through observation, through sight, through yada yada yada, compared to like energies and stuff like that. I do believe in energies a little bit. I can pick up on energies a little bit, but it's nothing too much. I don't know much about the tarot cards or none of that, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it's all pretty cool stuff. I mean, I know people be hating on voodoo and stuff, but religions and stuff can be used any type of way. So it's not, I don't believe in what people be saying about voodoo, but yeah. I think that would probably be the strangest thing, is just me sort of believing in like lizard people. I'm not gonna lie. It's either that or I low-key believe that there is a group that isn't the Illuminati, but that literally control everything, and they are behind the scenes and nobody knows who they are, but they have unlimited amounts of money. And these are like the people that control or were in cahoots with like Rothschilds and all them other people, you know what I'm saying? And everything is connected to RFK Jr. and the Titanic and all of that. I'm just playing, but I'm really not, but I am. Just a little bit of conspiracy theory, I don't know. What fictional character do you most relate to? I go in phases when it comes to fictional characters. You know what I'm saying? Like some days I be relating to Ken Kaneki. Some days I be relating to Aaron Yeager and just be wanting to, you know, kill everybody. I'm just playing. Jokes, jokes, jokes. But lately I've been relating to Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where he was talking about the law of equivalent exchange. I wasn't talking about the quote that his little brother had. I'm talking about at the end of the season where, what was it again? There's no such thing as a painless lesson. They just don't exist. Sacrifices are necessary. You can't gain anything without losing something first. Although if you can endure that pain and walk away from it, you'll find that you now have a heart strong enough to overcome any obstacle. Yeah, a heart made full metal, which I really relate to right now. You know what I'm saying? The way that I'm feeling, I really relate to that. And it just makes sense. I relate to both of them brothers. That whole show was just beautiful. Also, with the way that I particularly think, I think I'd be low-key relating to Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. I'm not as smart as him when it comes to like intellectual stuff, but I'm smarter than him when it comes to EQ. But like, there's some times where I'm feeling a little bit like casted out because of the certain ways that I think, or like alone in some ways because of like how like logical sometimes I be thinking, or like logical. It's it's not really even like logical for I don't use I really be thinking that I use fuzzy logic. You know what I'm saying? It's not traditional logic where like there's premises and stuff like that. I'm just very methodical, I guess you could say. And I have a method to the things that I do, and I'm confident in speaking on those things, and I think that makes a lot of people uncomfortable because of how confident I am in those things. And if I feel like my way is working, like, and it's not doing any harm, then I don't see any reason to change it. And I know that makes a lot of people that I've not a lot, but like some people that I met like kind of standoffish when it comes to me. But it's cool. It happens. You know what I'm saying? What scientific or technological advance blows your mind? Is there any technology that seems so futuristic and so advanced you're surprised it actually exists? Honestly, the hyperrail. Like I just it just meow 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. But no, the hyperrail for real, like that's crazy to me. Like, why does it work? Same thing with cars sometimes. I be thinking, I'm like, whoa, I'm in a car right now and it's moving. And technically, like, I'm not moving, but I am moving. Very weird. Cars be freaking me out sometimes, man. Cars and hyperrails. Cause like, how does it go so fast? Makes zero sense to me. I understand how it goes so fast, but I don't know why it goes so fast. I know why it goes, but I just don't understand how. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so crazy. Like that's wild to me. If you could ask your future self one thing, what would it be, bro? Please give me the GK5. Please get me out of this house. Please build your dream house, man. That's what I would ask you. Him. Them. Oh, I'm almost done. We got our last bite. And then we get our water. Gotta counter out the balance, you know what I'm saying? The sugary drink with the water. Whew, almost threw up. But yeah, I think I finished. What happens after a mukbang? I never watched one. I think I watched one maybe one time and it was like the era again. But that was a long time ago and I don't remember like what they did at the end of them. Like when you're done eating after a mukbang, do you just end the video? Well, it was nice talking to you. It's mukbang number 1. Might do it again if I'm feeling comfortable with it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment on the video. Or else. But nah, I'm out. Peace.